Special thanks to Brilliant for sponsoring this week's video. For 20% off their annual subscription, click the link below in the description box. Hi everyone, my name is Jamie and I'm a second-year resident in emergency medicine. Today I want to talk to you guys about some of the things I wish I knew before starting residency. It's still early in the year and I know many of you watching are just getting started with your intern year. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 1, you make a lot of patient care or outcome determining decisions. I don't know why this one surprised me, but hear me out. As a medical student, when you first start clinical rotations, you're given a little bit of responsibility. So at first, you're responsible for maybe one patient. And as you get more comfortable, you're given more patients to take care of. But at the end of the day, you go home and your residents are still responsible for those patients. So if you wrote something outrageous in your notes, or if you suggested something completely wrong, there's still many layers of protection to make sure that the patients weren't harmed. When you make the transition from med student to a resident, your responsibility changes overnight. One day you're a med student and the next day you're a resident. And as a resident, you make a million decisions for your patients every day. Your senior residents and attendings are there, of course, to catch any big mistakes, but you'll find that as the year goes on, there's less and less micromanaging from their end. So treating the patient's pain or making sure that patients have their follow-up plans or answering questions from concerned family members and all the other seemingly small things that we do as junior residents make a huge difference in patients' care and experience. As residents, even new interns, what we do can really make or break how the patients experience their illness and their healthcare. So don't be afraid to ask questions for the smallest things. Don't be ashamed. Also find some good go-to resources like UpToDate and keep them handy. Knowing what you don't know is the first step to learning and eventually teaching. Number 2, your mental health and wellness is largely your own responsibility. These days, everyone's talking about wellness. Residency programs are offering wellness seminars, yoga, meditation sessions, and other mental health services. But most of these sessions will take place when you're working. So if you really want to take full advantage of these programs, you have to do it during your free time. And participating in these wellness programs can be hard because residents work long hours, sometimes 80 or more hours a week. Honestly, I think all of us would probably feel more well if we worked a little less and had more free time. But that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. At the end of the day, self-care and mental health looks different for everyone. It's not one size fits all. We all have limited time, so it's really important to figure out what wellness means for you, and more importantly, what works for you. Number 3, hardest part of residency is dealing with different personalities. I never knew I would have to interact with so many different people in one day. As an introvert, the most challenging part of residency has been the sheer number of people I come in contact with and all the different personalities I deal with on a daily basis. Not just patients, but other doctors, coworkers, hospital staff, nurses, family members, the list goes on and on. Sometimes I dream of having a job where I don't have to talk to anyone. And by the end of my 12-hour day, I really don't want to talk to a single person or be next to anybody. It's the truth. But on the brighter side, after residency, my hours will decrease a lot. And that means I'll have more time to decompress and reflect, and I'll have way more reserve to deal with people. That said, number 4, your non-physician staff members are your best friends, or the opposite, depending on how well you get along with them. Patient care is teamwork. Doctors may be the ones to put in the orders, but we don't physically carry out the portion that makes the actual difference to the patient. This could be things like giving medication, picking up patients for CAT scans, lab work, getting radiology studies done, helping patients go to the bathroom, cleaning their rooms, making sure patients get their food trays. Really, without all the non-physician staff, nothing would get done and the hospital will fall apart. Getting to know all the nurses and other support staff has made my day-to-day easier and more enjoyable. Number 5, doctors need doctors too. This applies to physical health. A lot of us will be in our late 20s or already in our 30s. Our bodies will start to age. And we as residents have limited and sometimes unpredictable schedules. Making a yearly checkup appointment with the primary care doctor can be really frustrating when you're working all the time, or if you don't know if you're going to be working because your schedule hasn't been released yet. Or sometimes you literally have one day off and the last thing you want to do is go to the doctor's office and wait for a regular checkup. This was somehow a lot easier in college or even medical school. They had student health centers where they more or less catered to student schedules. But now that we're actual adults with a real job, It can be really difficult to stay on top of our physical health. We're all getting older, not younger, and there's tremendous stress in what we do. So make those appointments and ask for days off in advance. You can even lump all the appointments together in one day and make a health day and get everything out of the way. So those are the 5 major things I wish I knew before starting residency. In closing, there are a couple more things that I want to share with the new interns. Number 1, life will be hard. Your support system in and outside of medicine will be your saving grace. You'll always need someone who understands what you're going through, whether that's your med school friends or your co-residents. And you'll also need friends outside of medicine to keep you in check and remind you that you're still a human being with interests outside of medicine. Number 2, you're finally making a salary, so plan how you're going to be paying off those loans and start saving for retirement. It's not too early. And speaking of loans, if you're going for public service loan forgiveness for those of you in the US, or if you think that you might be going for it even if you're not sure, stay on top of the paperwork. It's not totally intuitive and you'll have to speak with your residency coordinators or your graduate medical education office, as well as with Fed loans and other servicers. But the possibility of getting your loans forgiven can only exist if you do all the required paperwork. And before I close today's video, I want to give special thanks to Brilliant for sponsoring this week's video. Brilliant is a website that teaches you complex concepts like algebra, calculus, statistics, physics, and they break them up into bite-sized concepts and help you master them through interactive problem-solving interface. Brilliant has a new offline courses that is ideal if you want to learn something new during your commute or while you're traveling. You can download any of their dozens of interactive courses through the mobile app, and you'll be able to solve fascinating problems in math, science, computer science, no matter where you are. These courses are all interactive, so you can experiment with pendulum clocks to master the physics of motion. You can use rockets to model algebraic functions and learn probability by playing casino blackjack. So if you want to support this channel and get unlimited access to all of Brilliant's in-depth math and science courses, you can head over to brilliant.org/StriveToFit to get 20% off their annual premium subscription. Thank you guys again, and if you want to check out any other videos, you guys can click over this way. And if you want to support the channel, please go to TheStriveToFit.com for some merchandise, and make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at TheStriveToFit. Thanks again, and see you guys in the next video. Bye!